Hello everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. The first leg of our Europa League playoffs against Feyenoord is done. 1-1 at the De Kuip Stadium in Rotterdam. I'll take it. I'll accept it. I've got nothing wrong with a draw. I said this in the match preview. I think a draw in such a tough ground, with such a heated atmosphere, and against a team which will have a massive sense of rivalry and revenge against us to finally try and win a game against us. And I think a draw is great because I've said this yesterday. I am very confident. I'm extremely confident that we're going to win on Thursday and that we're going to knock Feyenoord out for a third consecutive year. I'm confident, and it's just it's not me trying to be over positive. I think Feyenoord or nothing. I'd actually say that out of the three times that we faced Feyenoord, this time round, they're the weakest side. Their team has weakened a lot compared to last year and compared to the Conference League final. I think this season their team is weaker, and in fact, I'm happy with the draw, but I'm also a bit gutted because we could have easily won yesterday's game. We had the chances, we just couldn't bury them. We had more chances than Feyenoord. We had more key chances than Feyenoord, and we could have completely won that game. Easy. And I think winning in Rotterdam yesterday would have been exceptionally amazing. A draw is not as bad as a defeat. But obviously, now that the away goal doesn't count anymore, we don't really have an advantage. The advantage here is the fact that the players will be playing in front of us, in front of 70,000 fans. No Feyenoord fans allowed. So Feyenoord players are going to fall in the trap, the Olympico trap again, because in these European nights, the Olympico transforms. In these European nights, the stadium changes, the ambience, the loudness of it. It's just great. It's what we live for, and Feyenoord players are not going to be ready for it. So the advantage on the pitch, however, we can't really call it an advantage because a 1-1 draw without the away goal rule is kind of a 0-0. It's as if the game never happened and it's all for grabs in the second leg now. But again, I'm reading too much pessimism around Roma lately. I'm not sure if this pessimism is due to the fact that a lot of fans still miss Mourinho in the air. I don't know if this pessimism is derived from the fact that a lot of these fans are still disappointed. They're still very sad that Mourinho's not here anymore. But I don't understand this pessimism. I don't understand this pessimism towards certain players, and I filmed a video about this 2 days ago. I don't understand the pessimism and the hate that some singular players are getting in this period of time. The number one being Pellegrini, but I would also say Lukaku. I think again, yes, okay, 100%. He's not the same anymore, and Lukaku has suffered from Mourinho leaving. But at the end of the day, it's normal for a striker to maybe have a month of football where he doesn't score. And yesterday, yeah, that goal was a lucky goal because I actually thought he hit it with his head, but it actually was a shoulder goal. But yeah, it was a lucky goal. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done a little bit more, but he was there. The sense of positioning was great. At the end of the day, yes, he doesn't perform massively and exceptionally well in big games, but he changes the equilibrium. And I also don't understand the pessimism that this team is getting for the way we're playing. The defense needs a lot of remodeling. But to say that yesterday's game was a terrible game, or that the result of yesterday's game is a terrible result, is being delusional. Last year, we lost in Rotterdam 1-0. So technically, we were in a worse position than what we're now. Now again, I'm not saying that the fact that we didn't win this, that we didn't lose this game means that we're automatically through. No, we got to play and we got to be concentrated because it's an equal tie. Feyenoord will want to score, and the moment we concede a goal, it could come difficult, and maybe we won't get through. But it is an advantage losing 1-0 and drawing 1-1. There's a difference to it, and I see a team that in these bigger games, in bigger stadiums, tougher stadiums, is more brave, is more courage, it is more courageous, is using more courage to play and taking their chances. I see a team which wants to take their chances. That's a perfect way to define this team right now. A team that wants to try and score a goal and to try and break the rhythm. I don't see a team which plays for a 0-0 away from home anymore. I don't see a team which in big games aims for a draw and then aims for a corner kick or a penalty kick to try and win the game. No, I see a team which wants and is ready to take chances and gamble its way through a game. And that is great. However, something very important which needs to change, and yesterday's goal that we conceded is the definition of this, our defense. I'm not sure if it's the transition from 3 at the back to 4 at the back. It could be it. It could be the transition. We've been playing with a 3-man defense for quite a long while. So it takes time for these players to detach from a 3-man defense and play with a 4-man defense. It's different schemes, different formations. In the meantime, thank you very much to Ibrahim Wali. We are stronger and confident with DDR. I see Roma 2007 playing, but without Francesco Totti. So great job, DDR. Thank you very much, Ibrahim, for the $5. Much appreciated, and thank you for the support. But what I was saying is exactly this. It might be the transition. It might be the fact that we don't have Smalling in defense. It might be the fact that we don't have Ndika in defense. But we look way more confusionary and confused in defense this season. We look less confident in defense. And individually, Llorente looks like a completely different player this year, who is very prone to mistakes. That goal that we conceded yesterday, number one, that cross should never come in. So terrible defending from Korsdorp. Number two, the player, the Brazilian guy which scored the goal, should never be stranded by himself in the box in front of the goalkeeper with nobody marking him. So that's Llorente's fault. And number three, which is probably the most important point here, a player who is 168 meters tall should never jump in the air and score a goal. It's against the law of the game, especially when he's being marked by Llorente and Mancini, who are double the size of him. That goal that we conceded is stupid. And you see what I mean? We could have easily won yesterday's game. Not because of the chances we had, but also because that goal, any other day, we would have never conceded that goal. That's a stupid mistake to make. And had yesterday's game ended 1-0 to us, completely different scenario. Again, I'm not complaining with a draw. I think a draw is golden. But a win would have been better than a draw. And that sense of, I'm a bit gutted because I know that I could have done a bit better in this game, and I could have won this game, is there. So that's number one. Defending needs to, even this Sunday against Frosinone. Frosinone are a team which are very prone defensively, and we're going to speak about this in the match preview tomorrow. But I expect goals coming from our side on Sunday. But Frosinone at home are also a very, very, very threatening beast in offense. And when it comes to attack, we need to be careful. We cannot be playing with such a defense on Sunday. We can't. And just like we can't play with such a defense in any game. There were a few good clearances from our defenders, but overall, our defense really needs to look at itself, study itself, learn from our mistakes, and start to get adapted to a 4-man defense, because De Rossi wants to play with a 4-man at the back. Because otherwise, in such a tough ground, in such a heated ground like the De Kuip yesterday, De Rossi would have never started with the back four. But the fact that he insisted with the back four in such a complex game is suggesting to me that 4-man at the back is what he wants to do. Do you think Villar could have done better on the goal? To be honest with you, no. To be honest with you, no. It's Llorente's fault. Again, maybe his positioning should have been a bit better, but you can't blame him. You know, it was way too quick. Reaction times are not perfect, and they can't be perfect for a player who's barely ever played. You know, the 2 seconds literally went by since the guy hit the ball and it went at the back of the net. So I'm not blaming Villar. And in fact, after seeing yesterday's game, I think Villar needs a chance to prove himself as a starting goalkeeper. I'm not saying that Villar is massively better than Rui Patricio, because I still follow the same path that I followed 3 months ago, which is I still think both of our goalkeepers are bang average. But I am way more confident with Villar in goal this year. You know, when Rui Patricio is in goal, every time anybody shoots from outside the box, my heart stops. With Villar, I'm more confident. I'm more confident that he can save things that Rui Patricio wouldn't save. But at the end of the day, this summer, we need to change goalkeepers, because maybe keeps Villar a second, but definitely not as a first, because I think both of them are bang average. In terms of that, the players yesterday, Korsdorp, again, he looks like he doesn't care. Celik got subbed in 5 minutes, and in those 5 minutes, I'm not exaggerating, he didn't stop one ball, and he didn't pass the ball correctly once. Zaleski, we're trying to start him in attack to try and reorientate him back in his position. But the problem with Zaleski is that you can tell that he's a player who has been playing in way too many different positions over the past 2 years. Because his decision making sucks. His decision making is terrible. When he needs to shoot, he passes. And when he needs to pass, he shoots. And when he needs to dribble, he passes the ball backwards. And when he passes the ball backwards, he needs to dribble. Like, he is like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. My decision making sucks because yeah, again, his decision making is what is costing him mistakes. Zaleski has the technique. He's good at dribbling. And we've seen this in the 20 minutes against Inter. We saw him, yes, I think the dribbles and all of that were good. It's the decision making in the final third of the pitch and the first third of the pitch which are completely wrong. But again, the only way he improves is if he continues and gets his chances as a winger. If we set him on the bench, he will never improve. Man of the match, I have to agree with Dion in the chat. Paredes, man of the match. It's 2 games now that Paredes has proved himself absolutely crucial. Slide tackles yesterday were great. Anticipations were amazing. And you just know that when Paredes has the ball beneath his feet, it's secure, because he's got that touch. He knows what he does with the ball. He knows what he needs to do with the ball. So, yeah, man of the match is Paredes for me. Another thing which pisses me off yesterday is Bove getting that yellow card. An unnecessary yellow card, useless yellow card, 20 seconds before he got subbed off, which means that he's going to miss the second leg at home against them. And other than that, who did we have? Dybala, I've saw worse performances. His passing to our attackers yesterday was great. The only thing that he got wrong, very wrong yesterday, was his set pieces. Corner kicks and free kicks were terrible from Dybala yesterday. And Lukaku, I've seen worse performances. It's the first big game where not only I've seen Lukaku score, but I've also seen Lukaku be active in the play, which is something that in big games under Mourinho, unfortunately, he never did, because he was always stranded up front by himself. But yeah, in terms of individual performances, lads, I'm being very honest. I think on Thursday we're gonna eat them up, and I know my team in crucial European nights at home in front of 70,000 fans, full packed stadium, scarves, flags, pyros, flares, chants. I know those nights too well. I was there at the stadium when I was younger, in that Roma 3-0 Barcelona. I was there when they rolled the game against Liverpool. I was there last year against Bayer Leverkusen. I was there last year against Feyenoord. I know how that stadium acts and how we Roma fans act in that stadium when we understand the fundamental side of a European night. And I know how the players react to the fans believing in them. These players under Mourinho and in these past seasons, with Fonseca they reached the Europa League semi-final. With Mourinho they won a Conference League. With Mourinho they reached the Europa League semi-final. With Di Francesco they reached the Champions League semi-final. This team in its DNA is improving and making itself bigger in European tournaments. They are starting to develop a big mentality in European nights. And I am convinced, I could not be more convinced that on Thursday night, Feyenoord are going home. Because I said it at the start, but I'm going to say it again. Feyenoord are nothing. Feyenoord are absolutely nothing. Feyenoord is a bang average side. And I'm going to repeat what I said at the start. Out of the 3 times that we faced them, so the Conference League final, the Europa League quarter-final last year, and this Europa League playoff, their team is clearly the weakest this season. The only player which in my opinion can pose a threat is Santiago Jimenez. They don't have Kochko anymore. Their goalkeeper is injured. You know, a lot of Feyenoord fans in their comments are saying, oh well, it was my Feyenoord B side was playing yesterday. I'm very happy with the draw. You know, you're a bang average team. You are a team that is weaker than us. If we hit our day on Thursday in front of that sold out stadium, you're going home boneless. Imagine all those Feyenoord fans who are going to clip this if we get thrown out. Oh my god, I didn't even consider that. But no, I don't care because we're going through. I'm convinced. I don't need to be scared about jinxing this because we are going through. We're going to eat them up. We are. Feyenoord is a team which is only good and looks good in that Farmers League in the Netherlands, where it's a three-team league. In fact, no, two, because Ajax are terrible lately. So it's all about PSV Eindhoven and them. You know, everybody can go on in that league. Everybody can win that league and get Feyenoord in a bigger competition like the Europa League. They're not good. They're not good enough. And it's why I'm happy with the draw, but I'm also gutted. Because yesterday we could have won the game easily. You know, we could have. We had our chances. Their goalkeeper was good. Their defense cleared a goal from the line. They defended well, but we had our chances and we could have easily won yesterday's game. So I'm not scared at all. I like Zalewski finally playing in a more familiar position under De Rossi. We will be missing Bob in the next game, but I'm confident we can beat these cats, says Nick. Chilik made a crucial interception near the box at the end of the match. I don't remember that, mate, but maybe you're right. That Jimenez shot probably would have gone in with Rui, says Flair. I would say defense is the area we have to work the most now. I agree. Did you see the Jose interview? I didn't fully watch it, but I did listen to some parts. I think Romanita plays Villar more. I think De Rossi might try starting Zalewski again versus Frosinone, but on Thursday Elsha has to start. Simon, how do you guess results would have been with Mu if he had stayed in the matches that DDR coached? What? I didn't even celebrate Lukaku's goal, as the criticism that he has been subjected to by a lot of Roma fans on social media since Saturday has been ridiculous, says Saint. Olympico on fire against the bold prick. Slap them in the face and them hope. Feyenoord aren't much better than Slavia Prague, to be honest. Look, I think they're better than Slavia Prague, but they are not as good as their own fans think they are. You know, every single Feyenoord fan that I met in the Instagram comments of either our post or their post said the same thing. Said, Roma, beware. Roma, beware. Feyenoord is going to open up. Mate, you are as imaginary as Jack and the Beanstalk. Like, grow up. If there's one team that needs to be scared, is you guys. It's not me. Because we're going through. I'm convinced about this. We're going to eat them up if we hit our day. I think in the second leg, Smalling needs to start, says the RS. Right, that's it. Match reaction done. Bring the second leg on Thursday. I will be there, so stadium vlog will come, and hopefully it will be an entertaining plus as successful vlog as last year's Feyenoord's game. So yeah, looking forward to that. But first, heads, concentration, mindset needs to be on that Sunday game. Complex game. We'll speak about it tomorrow. And it's not an easy one at all, because Frosinone at home are a very different team to Frosinone away. And they could hurt us, even though their defense is terrible. So yeah, we'll discuss that tomorrow. Later tonight, I'm going to go live for some transfer news. We have some interesting news on Albert Gudmundsson. Roma potentially bidding this summer for him. Would be a great move, but also a very complicated one. So yeah, like target. We didn't beat Feyenoord, but we're going to beat Feyenoord on Thursday. So like target today, 70 likes. Yes, we can do it. Let's get it done. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. Talk to you soon. And thanks for the support as always. Catch you tonight. Simo out.